Hello, Monica. Can you hear me good?
Yes, I hear you very well.
All right. Leah, Chantal, Angelique. I was on the call because a couple of people are like, um, I'm trying to get in. I'm like, oh, it's always like that. It's like, trying to get in. I don't know how to get in. The link's not working. So hopefully we got more people. Hey, Cheryl. Hello, hello. Matua. I'm like, am I butchering her name?
No, you're not actually. That's
Okay, yay!
perfect. That's perfect. I can't get my video to look to actually
Oh,
go on here, but hopefully
okay.
I can figure that out.
I'm so happy you're here. That's so cool. I
Me
love
too.
seeing some familiar faces, even if I don't see the face. It's going to be awesome today. I'm like really looking forward to this. This is stuff that, man, I wish I would have known a long time ago. It's definitely what I'm about to share today and tomorrow is truly going to like, oh, no wonder. No wonder this shit has been happening. No wonder life has been such a challenge. And it's funny, it's like I almost was pregnant, that's what I tell people. I was pregnant with this information for almost 50 years. And then I birthed Harmonize with Life last September. I was invited to a TED stage in December. And then it was like sharing this information has been all about refining it, simplifying it, all that sort of thing. But it's been anybody that hears this information is just they're just like, oh. The biggest thing that people tell me are like, oh, okay, this feels liberating. It's not me. So that's truly my goal today, for you all to feel. And so I'm just gonna get started. I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm the type of person that's like, if there's questions and there's a lot that needs to be shared or spoken about, or you have questions, I want to stay and I want to share and to open up. And I really want to serve you all. I really appreciate that you all took this time. Your time's valuable. And to give your time to this, I'm very appreciative. And I definitely, my goal is for you all to walk away and be like, holy shit, that was so well worth it. And then tomorrow we're going to go even deeper into it. All right. So today we are going to start talking about the warrior archetype and why life is hard for the warrior archetype. And many of you may not really see yourself like warrior, but after today, it's all going to like make a lot of sense. And then tomorrow, we will talk about how to go from having the hard life to a life of ease and flow with my Harmonize with Life methodology, um, which is how we were supposed to live. And I will share some slides here in just a moment. But first, I want to rise the conversation and I will share some key points. Ask your questions, type them in. I'm going to make sure that I have the chat open here. Type them in. And at the end, I'm also going to open it up for questions, conversation. If those of you prefer to type it, you can do that. If you prefer to unmute yourself because it's easier to express and to share, definitely do that too. So the more that we can have a conversation, that is truly where my genius is in responding to questions. Like most, I'm a transformation genius, not a motivational speaker or highlight speaker, or I get on stage and I'm just sharing it. It's my show. You know what I mean? No, this is your show. I'm truly here to respond And that's my gift, that's my genius to respond to what's going on in your life. And I assist life. And I always talk about that. I assist life force in helping people move and rise out of challenges, human bumps, all those sort of things. And so if nobody talks and nobody asks questions, then there's nothing flowing through me. Not much, right? But what I want to do is share with you today things that will start rising the question, rising the conversation, and have you seen certain things that maybe you wouldn't have seen before, and then go from there. Also, I'm not a fan of I share my wisdom and you take notes from my, based on my wisdom. What I prefer you doing is allow my wisdom to help you unlock and remember yours and start noting your wisdom. Start noting what's coming up for you through you. Because one sentence coming through you is far more powerful for you than writing pages and pages of notes of someone else's wisdom. Because you are the code. You are. But your mind, all our minds have been conditioned to seek for information outside of ourselves. Okay. So first, why did you forget you are the code? Why, if you were already forged in fire, very gifted, and have tremendous strength to lead, why is it doesn't feel like it? Why does it feel like people are moving against you? Or it feels like life is moving against you, or punishing you, or teaching you a lesson, or there's always another challenge for you to solve? Or maybe your body and your health are not cooperating with you. Maybe the kids are not. Maybe it's your work, it's your money. And so, why is that? Why is life truly harder for those forged in fire, those that are really, really strong? And when I say forged in fire, I mean those that have had a challenging beginning. Warrior women and men don't walk around talking about this. Like, we don't go there because we learned at a very young age that sharing this with people that never experienced being cut deep, they cannot meet us there, regardless if they have a PhD, and they project their own fears, ignorance, and lack. And so we learn at a young age, hold it all in, and we hold it for everyone else, right? That we believe are not as strong as us. And we know how to push and force and live through pain. But the warrior archetype isn't about pushing through and fighting harder. You're about to see that's not the power. Today, it's about remembering the deeper intelligence that has always carried you. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to realign with your true gifts and flowing with life again. And trust me, when you do, it will feel like criminal to live your life with so much ease, especially since you've lived most of your life where you had to force things, push things, carry things. You know what I mean? It was never easy. It will feel liberating. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. Just want to make sure that everybody can see. Oops, I'm going too fast. So you can all see that. Yeah, just
Yep.
perfect. Oh, here I got more people coming in. I don't want to. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Monica, can I put you in charge of letting people in?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't want to miss. Because as I'm presenting this and sharing, I just here, let me go to you here, and I'm gonna make you co-host. All right, so that way when you see people, you can just let them in. All right. So we're going to start here, the gifts. So the warrior archetype, um, she or he, it's you're going to notice I'm all about unity. But we'll go into that as well. But is very courageous, focused, disciplined, goal oriented, They are natural leaders, and a lot of them don't even know they're natural leaders because they think that the leaders out there that are pretending to be leaders are actually leaders. They're not leaders, actually. They're looking for power. That's not leadership. But they're the natural leaders. Life prepared them to be natural leaders, and natural leaders are forged in fire. And if you look at all the greats, they've all had challenging beginnings, by the way, but they stopped moving against life and began to learn how to move with it, whether it was conscious or unconscious. Um, they are revolutionary, especially once they reconnect to what really makes them powerful, which is not the pushing and the forcing. They are the voice for the voiceless. They're fighters, they're hard workers, they're problem solvers. They wear survival like a badge of honor, though, attracting more to survive from. I see a lot of them, they're like, I can solve any problem. And then there's another problem and another problem. They're very driven and mission driven and on purpose. They're independent, they're very reliable. Warriors are very loyal. And I know this sounds very masculine, and many women carry this. And these are great qualities to have. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us, by the way. And if you need more information or clarity on that, we can talk about it at the end. But women tend to have more feminine energies and men more masculine energies. But you can still be a warrior woman and be very feminine in your own way. So we're going to talk about that because being feminine is not the way they talk about it out there, by the way. A lot of what you see out there is wounded feminine. All right. So the warrior feels a lot, loves deeply. People misunderstand them. They see they don't trust very easily. And so on some level, she and he knows that. And that's why they protect it and don't show they do. Warriors follow through. They are resilient. They love to challenge themselves. They're the high achievers. All warriors have this desire to be more. So, this is the part of you that desires to grow and expand as well. So, warriors are the ones out there seeking, 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 seeking to be better, to be better, to be better, to be better, to grow, to grow, to grow, to expand. And part of you that knows that is doing this is because you had to. Growing up, you grew up faster than others. You had to grow up fast. So that's part of survival. Not realizing a lot of your seeking comes from survival. And you had to be a force of change in your world when you were little. So, yes, because of that, you can move towards goals. And often, a lot of the warrior women you see out there are the activists, the feminists. They're part of movements so that women have more rights, more freedom, more financial abundance, and so on. And we know as women, we are grateful for the past warrior women and men that stood up for change. And again, you'll notice that I don't separate men because I'm all about unity. It is not about men and women. It is not men the problem. And I had it's the energetic and global world system. And I did a podcast on this. It's the energy behind it that instills fear. It was created thousands of years ago to separate men and women, to control men and women. When men and women unite and let go of the armor that they inherited, they're untouchable. Okay, so warrior women tend to look up to warrior women. Jennifer Lawrence in the Hunger Games, Wonder Woman, Tomb Raider, any kind of, woman that rises on top. When I was little, I'd watch She-Ra, and when you watch these movies or women rising on the top or whatever it is, something inside of you lights up because it remembers who you are. But often your mind associates with the fighting and the forcing parts of the movie, but that's not who you are. That was never the gift. All right. So, as you can see, this is an archetype that has been really lifted up in our culture. That's why you see it in so many movies. And so now we're going to talk about the shadow part, the shadow part of the warrior, the strength that became the cage. And so here's the thing about the warrior archetype. They have the most amazing gifts, yes. They see things that most people don't. They can walk into a room and they learn at a very young age to, and this is your nervous system, is so intelligent. It will scan the room and become who you need to become in that room for others. And so there's all sorts of amazing gifts. But when it's being used to protect yourself and to go against life, go against your soul, abandoning yourself, that's when life gets really hard. So the thing is, we're going to talk about the shadows. And look, we live in a world of duality. And this is science, where there's an up, there's a down, where there is light, gift, there's also a dark shadow side. There's heaven and there's hell. And it lives in us, not out there. And when we see it, we can shift it. So if we keep thinking it's out there and not in us, then we will keep being stuck in the illusion that life is against us, that there's a curse outside of us that is out to get us, that people are out to get us. So it's important to see these shadows in ourselves, but not to put ourselves down when we see them. It is to see that of course, we have shadows. We're all human. You can't have the gift without the shadow side. They come kind of as a package deal. But we tend to, like as humans, love our supernatural side, but then hate our natural side, our human side, the ordinary side of us. Okay, so let's talk about the shadows. Often overwork yourself to the point of exhaustion. It's never enough money, never enough help. You're not enough. And when I say overwork to exhaustion, it's like I used to like work really, really, really hard. And then I was so tired that I would go like not work at all. Like I couldn't even move anymore. I was like, I don't even have any motivation. I don't want to do anything. And it was like these highs and lows all the friggin' time. Um, you notice you're often in competition with others, especially women with women, or you feel judged by other women. You have impossible expectations on yourself and your performance. You're overly perfectionist, having your worthiness defined by your achievements. And some of you are like, oh my God, I'm procrastinating. I'm not motivated. Something's wrong with me. It's like if your soul could talk to you and say, just no, 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 just this is part of it. You're a cyclical being. And then you have impossible expectations of others. So we become very critical and hard on our partner. We expect perfectionism. We try to change them. We fall in love with potential. Then we try to fix them. And we try to heal them, whatever it is. And so we expect perfection from the partner, and it's only because of our relationship with ourselves. So we're really hard on ourselves. And then projecting those very, very high standards and impossible expectations of perfection onto people around us, around you. You really struggle with the concept of failing. Failing feels like death. Like I don't know who I am if I fail, and therefore become obsessed with success and accomplishments, titles, and you put yourself down because. And I see a lot of people, and they put themselves down all the time. They're like, "Yeah, but I'm not that successful." But everything's about success. So this concept of just work hard to achieve your goals and then feel empty and unfulfilled came from the warrior people on this planet. It was a concept built from fear of failure. So you achieve a goal and then you're on to the next goal, or you feel you should have another goal. And the mindset and manifestation world tells you, well, what do you want? You should have a goal. You should have it at the forefront of your mind and go after it. If you don't, where are you going? Again, warriors. Uh, we also, warrior energy often neglects your body. They neglect their body, skipping meals, not nourishing themselves, and overeating, not resting when the body asks. Or they live on the other side and they over control their body, count their calories. They need to be perfect and push past the limits of their body. So yes, many bodybuilders and stuff like that are right. Like athletes are very much warriors, of course. It's an extreme to control because they don't feel safe without controlling someone or something or their body or their work or their business or something. It has to control something. So there's nothing wrong with optimizing if it's done from love for your body, but attaching goals to your body the way many do, that's not love. That's treating your body like a project, a machine that you have to get to its highest performance. And warriors tend to be very, very hard on their bodies. So you might often look around also and feel like everyone else is just lazy and lack ambition. Rest is for the losers. And when you're resting, you're just, oh, you feel guilty. Oh shit, I'm spending time watching TV. I feel guilty. It's like in your body's like, oh my God, we need a break. Okay. You judge those that do less as well. You often reject the softer, more feminine types of energy out there as weak. Um, or you feel like you need to protect them. You have these big, thick walls up. It blocks intimacy. So you cannot be supported, seen, led, held. But deep down, you deserve it. Like many of my warrior clients are like, they wish their man could just take control and they can submit in bed. Well, that's that inner desire to be led, to be held, to be seen. And so if there's any men listening, because I do attract men clients and stuff, but it's not so much about being held for men, but seen and connection with the feminine part of a woman. And it's hard for them. And I attract a lot of warrior men that have attracted warrior women. And they feel like they're emasculated and they want to lead and hold their woman, but she won't let him. So I help the men with this, and it happens fast because a man that is not protecting or leading or holding space for their woman will fall more on the feminine side, and that hurts their health, destroys sexual attraction in the relationship too. There's no sexual attraction. Like this is a science, not an opinion. To have sexual attraction, one must be in the masculine in the relationship, and the other one must be in their feminine. If both, like you need to be in the opposite, that's what creates attraction, like a magnet. If both are in their masculine, let's say, there's no magnet, no polar opposite, so no attraction. And there's a more and more relationships like that happening. And so we don't want that. Just like couples of the same sex. One normally has more feminine energy and the other more masculine energy. That's why there's attraction. So with warriors, true intimacy and connection cannot happen because the walls prevent transparency in the relationship. And I'll get women and they're like, I'm always transparent. And I'm like, and I get in trouble because I share too much. And I'm like, dumping your anger and resentment on another person and saying, I was too transparent or I said too much, I got to stop oversharing. That's not what I mean by being honest and transparent. Being honest and transparent is being connected to your heart and you share from your heart, not from your survival patterns. All right. So the warriors are truly independent. I don't have to tell you all that. Crazy independent. She figured out how to never need anyone. And then you're like, no one helps me. No one supports me. I'm left to do everything myself. And that's because we wouldn't let others support us. I remember when I had my breakdown, um, and like everything in my life was falling apart. And I remember showing up and sharing this with closest friends, people I was around, my partner, and they were all like, "You're strong. You'll figure it out." Not one of them offered any help. And I was like, like any kind of support or anything. Oh, you're on your own. You're good. You got this. Well, that's what I created, right? And that's because like we have a hard time receiving. We have a hard time receiving life, receiving people because of those walls around our heart. We have no even idea how to receive. So those walls won't let you receive. So even if somebody were to give to you, it's so uncomfortable. Like even saying thank you sometimes was so uncomfortable for me. You don't know what to do. It feels uncomfortable. Um, attachment. We're gonna go into. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the attachment of the warrior energy is extremely avoidant. Just want to share a few other things here. And then what happens is we attract because we're avoidant. So when things happen, we start avoiding them and we say we just need space. We're just avoiding. We avoid the money, we avoid looking at the money, everything feels uncomfortable, so we avoid. And then we attract people that have anxious attachment, or we attract another avoidant person. And now you're in a relationship with someone else that's like you. We don't need each other. Isn't it fun? We don't need each other. We'll just figure things out on our own. Or we attract the opposite and it's like, God, it's just clingy. Why do you like, why is it so dramatic? All right. So there's a lot of this. I need my space alone. I need to be by myself. I need a lot of alone time. I will just do this alone. That's really what you're saying. I will just do this alone and not allow others to help you because they're just going to mess it up anyways, or they're just not going to do it, or they're just not going to help you anyways. So I'll just figure it out on my own. So then we're going to go into the feminine body cycles and culture. So I just want to share, like, does anybody have, okay, any questions so far? Because we could just open up the questions like after. Oops. Okay. The feminine body cycles, culture. Women are cyclical beings. You were taught to live like men, by the way. The cycle of a man is like a 24-hour cycle. Yours is a monthly cycle. And I tell people I became a top athlete because I began to move with my cycle, not against it. Like I would train, for example, only 40% of my capacity the week that I was on my cycle. And the men that I was coached by at the time were like, don't do that. You have to push through. You got to push your body. Men have a different relationship with life. Women don't have that relationship with life. And so I was like, stop, please. Right. And then the week after my cycle, I would surpass my records. I would be like, friggin' the power that I had, the strength I would have. So to be feminine is not weak. It is being brilliant. When we move with life, when we move with nature, when we move with our bodies, not against it. And then same with your business. And the same with inner work too. When it's the time of the month, by the way, you're built to go inward and connect to deeper intelligence. And then you birth new ideas and concepts right after. But we have been taught to just push through it. Man up. Stop PMSing. And it's which you know why you're PMSing? Most people are PMSing because you're working against your own cycle. That's why it's painful. Your body's trying to tell you stop doing that. So I see women with hormone issues, and I'm almost 50 and I can still have children. And I used to have thyroid issues, cervical abnormal cells. And today I can still have children because I stopped going against my feminine essence, the way that my mom was taught to do it. And my mom taught me how to do it. So I had to let go of what she taught me, but she still struggles with her womb and womanly parts and hormones and everything else. So my feminine essence is now strong physically because I am now strong energetically with my feminine energy. And so that's why so many women are losing their spark, radiance. They're burning out. And it is because in our culture, we celebrate women that have demonized their own feminine energy and natural way of being. And we place that on the pedestal, by the way. And this way of being is killing women. It's the cause of lots of issues with breast cancers, hormones, overweight from overeating, because they can feel the emptiness within, the void, that deeper longing to be in your feminine again. But when you grow up with this man up, soldier on, keep calm and carry on, the I'll be fine, I can handle it, leave it with me, I'll find a solution, I got this. Basically, you're saying, I will rest when I'm dead. We've been taught to not share how we are feeling and just keep going. And especially my business owners. And I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs. And the things that I see out there in this heavy competition, I see men coaches, your competition is winning while you're sleeping. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And this is not to say they're doing it wrong. They're not doing it wrong. Men have a different relationship with life than women. And it's very unhealthy movement that warrior people have created, which it is workaholism. It's an addiction that culture has celebrated. And everybody's chasing it, getting it. And trust me, I've worked with a lot of very, very successful people. And they keep, like, they don't even know why they keep getting and getting and getting and getting. After a while, they're like, what is this all for? And it's like they're on a spinning wheel. They don't even know it. You didn't come to this planet to just work to prove that you're worthy of a good life. That's craziness. And so we're seeing right now a rise of the feminine leadership. And it encourages us to step away from this warrior energy and still maintain the gifts of the warrior. I used to wear stress and overwhelm and being busy like a badge of honor. I was constantly overwhelmed and stressed. And even when I wasn't, I would say it because it was almost like I needed to be so that people, so that I felt worthy. It's the craziest thing. So, um, so how, like, so how do they show up? So how she appears. And so how does she appear like? So one of the boys, you'll see that, or they're like activists, feminists who think all men are pigs, that there's no good men. I hear a lot of women, they're like, oh, Natalie, it's so hard out there finding men. And I'm like, no, it's not. Why do you want to believe that? You're creating that reality for yourself. Stop that. Another woman referred this woman to me, and she got on a call with me, and she's like, I know they say you're amazing, Natalie, but honestly, I don't work with women. And I'm like, yeah, I know you don't. And she was like, what? I'm like, I never worked with women either. But that's why I struggled in life. The very thing I needed The armors around my heart wouldn't let me go there. I was triggered too much around women. But I told her, I said, just do a month together and see it for yourself. And so she did, and she worked with me for an entire year. That's how much value she saw in this material and how much her life was transforming fast. That she had chronic pains. Her love life was dull. Like, I mean, her chronic pains had her bedridden. Her love life was dull. She was frustrated in her business. She wanted to burn it all down. And within months, she had lost weight. It wasn't really planned. Her chronic pains, she knew exactly what brought the chronic pains. And so she knows, like, when the chronic pains come back, she's like, oh shit. She knows exactly the root cause. Her love life is so much closer. It transformed her as a parent. She's closer with her kids, her work. She's now working substantially less and earning far more. So her choosing to work with a woman that could truly see her changed everything. And many of us warrior women, we desire to be with other women, by the way. We desire to get close to other women, but not wounded women, not women that are going to judge us, of course. And that's why oftentimes you see a lot of women out there that prefer to work with men. A lot of the feminism out there is not coming from the true healed feminine, by the way. I think you guys can see that. It is coming from the angry feminine, and that can't create change. And I like the quote, to create change, it is not to fight the old systems, it is to create new systems and focus on the new that naturally makes the old obsolete. But when we're angry, we give power to the old system. So there's nobody in history that fought and with anger towards the system and changed the system. So when a woman is connected to her essence, she's not fighting the system. She's creating something entirely new. And there's a lot of women in history that have created a lot of new things that opened up opportunities for us women. And so it's just remembering, like, I know a lot of us, the system's going to show us that it's all the people that fought. And I don't want to go into detail about that energetic because it's done in a way to control society, of course. But I'm tell you this, when you're connected to your essence, you're not fighting anymore. You're creating. As the women we are, we create. Our womb creates. We create. And then we create something entirely new. And then we invite people to something new, kind of like what I'm doing here. And that's what creates huge change in the world. All right. So, this is what true feminism was always meant to look like, not the fighting the men. It's not about the men. It's truly about the energetics behind it. So, like I said, I don't believe in fighting men. The perspective of the opposite sex out there is very unhealthy. It's the blaming and the resentment and the accusations. And in my TED talk, I wanted to help heal this. We as women, to truly create change in this world, it is to let go of our distortions about men, the hating men, that there's no great men out there, boxing men, men are weak, men are this, then it's showing that we don't really know men. If all we see is the negativity in a man, you really are not seeing that man clearly. And the same thing for men when it comes to women. If you see a lot of negativity around women, you don't clearly see women at all. You see your own distortions. And we're talking about human bumps tomorrow. What people see in you or you see in others is what life is asking you to heal. We don't actually see people until we let go of our distortions. And trust me, if we see bad, evil, ugly in others, we're not seeing clearly. And I know it's hard for a lot of people to see that. So we have inherited distortions, beliefs that distort how we see men and women. And yes, we're going to attract what we believe. We're going to attract our distortions, our survival patterns. We're going to attract, and it's part of the plan because life wants you to let it go. You inherited it, it's not who you are. And once you let go of your beliefs, you attract something entirely different. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. So that way it makes a lot more sense. And I'm going to speak about it in in the like 4-step methodology. So we can be feminists, we can be warrior women, we can be powerful and celebrate the healthy masculine energy in ourselves as well, and in the men. Um, but many warrior women, you have um, mother wounds and sisterhood wounds. And so you don't feel like you fit in with women, or you see other women as weak, or you're triggered a lot by other women. It's not the other women triggering you. Again, it's life triggering you, saying, let go of what you believe about other women. So when Natalie says, hey, come to my container of women, many women are like, what? I don't know. Oh, no, I want that. I get women, they're like, no, I'll just work with you one on one. And I'm like, all women need to be in the container. Many will include, like, they'll do the one on one as well to accelerate things, but the group is the medicine women need. The group that I've created, though, is a very different group, of course. But of course, part of us women are fighting what we actually need, blocking from what we actually need. The fastest way to you living your best life, trust me, there's an aspect of you that does not want you to go that way and live that way, that ease, that flow. Okay. So, and some of you are ready for it. Some of you are like, no, I'm ready. I'm ready to take off this armor. I'm so freaking done with it. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to go against life anymore. All right. So also I want to share, like, you are way more powerful with that without that armor. And I know that many of us are very comfortable with it. Most of us don't even know that we have the armor. Most of us don't even know what the armor is, what the survival patterns are. But that's what you get to witness a lot. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And we'll open up to questions. Anybody that wants to share, open up. It's much easier for me to do this like live with you so that you can experience it than me explain what it's all like, what it's about. So I just want to check if there's like any questions or anything like that. Angelique, such a great reminder because the last few days I've been on my cycle and I'm now on the last day, but found the inner voice going, now you can do more work. And my body is like, no, we're still tired and have no energy. Rest is needed. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to keep going. Part 5, love, surrender, safety. We're going to talk about love a little bit here. Um, and, you know, the warrior woman is yearning to surrender. She's has a yearning to be loved. She wants to stop controlling. She wants to let go of that control. Deep down, she wants to be led. She wants to be held. She wants to be seen. She wants the parts of her behind the armor to be seen, but she's afraid of showing it. She doesn't want to be seen as weak and vulnerable. She sees that as incompetent, sees that as placing herself on the wrong path. She needs to be seen with high standards because that makes her feel safe. And lots of warrior women are single moms. They sometimes don't realize it, but they're hunting for their man. or they gave up on it and there's no great men out there anyway, so I feel better alone. Or you are in a relationship and you're always fixing him, fixing the household. And we go into fixing instead of listening and holding space. And then we see a lot of fertility problems, womb issues, because we're pushing ourselves too much, pushing the feminine body too much. And I often see it in the face of women. There's so much tension. And so, also with warrior women, everything is always fine. And you do it yourself. And so, eventually, people stop offering to help you. So, you suffer in silence because you don't know how to let people in and how to open up and share vulnerability. The word vulnerability, I used to use it. I had no idea what it really meant. I really didn't know. Even when I was expressing, I was still not expressing from my heart. I had no idea how thick my armor was. And that's why everything was misunderstood. When I talk now and I speak with someone directly, there's no misunderstanding because that's how it works. But when you're speaking from the 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 armor, the survival patterns mixed with some heart, it's a mess. It gets confusing for the other people around you. And then also there's like warrior women that'll be like, I'm so amazing in bed. I have great sex. I have a high sex drive. But what ends up happening, she ends up being the one initiating and taking charge all the time, and that creates resentment. And then I'm like, they're like done. They're like, I'm always initiating. I'm always taking charge. I don't want this anymore. And so with the warrior women, the controlling happens because not okay with things not going to plan. Not okay if your routine gets broken, if things go out of whack and you lose balance. But letting go of control is how you witness your magic in life. When you allow things not to go your way, magic happens when things don't go according to plan. But if we fall apart because things are not going to plan, we're not available for receiving the magic in that moment. Can't see it. We're freaking out that it didn't go according to plan. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow with the Harmonize with Life. The other thing too, the needing to work on yourself, always working on yourself, always healing. Oh my God, I have 12, I think it's 13 designations, half a dozen healing designations. That's how much fixing of myself I have done. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to fix myself, I might as well get a designation in the process. So there's this need for you to constantly work on yourself. And you're always like, I got to get there. You're always trying to get there, the next goal, the next destination. And you forget enjoying what you've created, enjoying the life you've created. And oftentimes you're like, well, I don't like the life I've created. And I'm like, well, you don't like the life you created because of how you're creating it. And you're still doing it. So even if you get there, wherever the there is, you're still going to be here because you're still creating it the same way until we stop creating it the same way. And so also because of the way that, warrior women were raised, that's why you have armors around your heart. That's why vulnerability. That's why you don't share the love that you are because you don't feel safe. Your nervous system is on eggshells. You never felt safe when you were little. You certainly won't. That part of you won't let you feel unsafe again. And so this is not a conscious thing. This is your nervous system. This is your body taking charge of a lot of these things. Our job is to become conscious of it. Also another thing too, some warrior women attract men that have tempers, very dysfunctional men. And some people would be surprised, like warrior women get scammed. They attract narcissistic personalities, abuse, and I'm like, yeah, people are just like they're because they're so like strong and hard on the outside, but they're very, very soft inside. And so they do fall for words. They do fall for empty promises. They'll fall for coaches that tell them, "I'll change your whole life." And then they give a lot of money to that, and then they get inside and they're like, "Fuck, this is not doing anything." We often fall for a lot of that. Um, or on the flip side, warrior women are like, "No, I'll control the men. I will make sure to attract men that I can control." So it depends on which side of the spectrum you're in. Okay. So, um, warrior women, we put up with a lot, push a lot, we can hold a lot, and we get what we tolerate. And boy, do we tolerate a lot. But a queen, she lets go a lot. She holds boundaries a lot. She regulates her nervous system. She doesn't take that kind of stuff that warrior women will tolerate. Warriors tolerate a lot. We hold on to a lot. We carry a lot. We believe that the more you take in and the more that you take on, that's how you're going to get successful. It's not true. The more you let go, that's how you become truly successful. We'll talk more about that tomorrow for sure, how to like let go. So you do get what you tolerate. And then there's another kind of lack of safety many don't share. If you're in a relationship with a man and he's more the feminine side, like he expects you to provide, you to come up with the money, he promises and then doesn't deliver, he always falls through, and you're the one picking up the pieces and you're very committed. That's a quality here with warrior women. Um, to be loyal and committed, but it's also a shadow because now you stay, you don't feel safe, and you're always on overdrive, taking care of him, taking care of everyone. You may even make excuses for him. Well, it's hard for him right now. Just know that this will force you to stay in your warrior shadow. You will be an overdrive masculine, and your feminine energy in your body will be compromised. And we will burn out and we will resent quietly, most of us. And resentment destroys your body, destroys your life, destroys everything. And because it's one of the things that a lot of people feel and don't realize that it goes against life, the current of life, and it attracts a lot of challenges. There's a lot of this energy with warrior women that they have to because you're the one holding it all up, and eventually you're holding too much for the both of you that eventually you just can't anymore. And we don't just do this in relationships. We do this in our business. We do this with our bodies. We do this with other relationships. And so a lot will begin to fall apart for you because life wants you to let go of these shadows and survival patterns you inherited. This is not who you are. Life wants you to have what your heart truly wants and desires. And if you're in a healthy relationship where your partner does make you feel safe, do you know some warrior women are like, that's boring. They see that as boring because their nervous system is so used to chaos. So the warrior is very celebrated in our culture, and it's trending. It's cool, but actually This is all coming from a lot of childhood wounds to protect ourselves from something. Or it's to take on the world because you believe you were the person for the job. And so it's really costing women a lot. Exhaustion, resentment, disconnection from the body, from source, hormone imbalance, burnout, loss of radiance. Money is up and down. And I shared a post about how there was chaos around money while I was growing up. So not having money was like danger for my nervous system. So I was chasing money nonstop, not realizing that my nervous system was so afraid of not having enough, because not having enough growing up meant a beating, that it created a reality for me of not enough money. No more, no matter what I earned. Didn't realize my nervous system was like, still not enough, because it was so afraid of not having enough. And so I had to get out of that loop, right? And so also like attracting imbalance in love, doing more and giving more, not receiving, feeling capable, yes, very capable human beings. You can make anything happen, but fulfillment, joy, radiance, true love, soulmates, mm-mm. And we know that. All right, so I'm just gonna like open this up for like questions. Anybody that wants to like unmute, if you want to share like what has, I'm gonna just stop the share here. So I'd like to like have like a bit of a conversation, questions, or even if you want to share your story, if you want to share something for others, um, certainly you're invited to do that as well. Just or even comment or any takeaways, like what stood out for you.
I have to say, one of the things that you were talking about was, you know, getting with somebody that you thought you could control in a relationship. That
Mhm.
was one of the thoughts I had before my second husband was, I can, he's manageable.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be totally so untrue. He turned out to be everything I could never want or need, but but I remember having that thought. I could control this. So yeah, thank you for that one.
You could feel that energy, right? That
Oh my goodness, yes, yes. But my mother was a controller. She controlled everything. So, I learned a lot.
Mhm.
Mother
Mhm.
daughter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to share? I see you on camera. It says user, but I don't think that's your name.
It's Sally. My name's Sally.
Yeah.
Yes. I can see Warrior in I've always felt like my sister's Warrior because she has to have everything planned and she has to know exactly what she's doing. And I've always felt I was different because I don't have everything planned and um I tend to be a bit more laid back when it comes to getting things done. And
Hmm.
then I suddenly start panicking when the deadline comes and I haven't finished it. So I am I'm a like person that I just I feel as if I want to keep going and going, but like you were saying about a woman's body, how it sometimes it asks to be rest, asks to have a rest. And I
Hmm.
think sometimes mine does, and yeah, it's just pushing through when you're tired, but you're not supposed to do that, are you?
Yeah, and it's like we disconnected from our bodies. And it's crazy how we're asking nutritionists and doctors, and we're the ones connected to our body. Like, I don't know, I'm living in my body, you're living in your body, but we're
Yeah.
asking them how to be in our bodies and what our bodies need and how to feel it and when it needs rest. Like, it's the craziest thing. Meanwhile, our body is already communicating with us what it needs. And oftentimes the body is not at rest because we are so much in survival. Our nervous
Yeah.
system is so much in survival that even when we're sleeping, we're not resting.
No, we're thinking about how to solve problems or solutions. Is that yeah, that's what we tend to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so that's the control. That's the warrior. I got to figure out how to control this thing in front of me that is, we call it a problem or a challenge, only because we're resisting what life is trying to show us. We haven't been taught that. Even mindset and manifestation and healing, none of it's teaching us that because a lot of it is concepts because for a humanity that can't allow life to just show us the magic. Because we can't see the magic. We're like, no, I want it to go this way and it didn't happen this way. So it didn't happen for me. And life is going against me and this is not what I want. So I got to figure out, okay, so now it's a challenge, it's a problem. So I got to fix this now. And if life could be like, oh my God, let go, let go, let go. The magic is right here, but you can't see it because you're so like here, over here. And then the magic is over here. And so my job is to like help you like let go of that and see the magic.
I should say thank you.
You're welcome. Mariana?
Do I, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here.
I heard you saying about vulnerability
Hmm.
and how we think we are vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's a big, like, it's just leak of energy. I feel like it's like so maybe just a protection mechanism, but
Hmm.
I always feel very bad after doing something like that. And then you saying like the real vulnerability can come naturally only when the heart is open, yeah.
Hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
And
I always know when I'm speaking to someone and I'm sharing something that is sensitive and they misunderstand me and everything is a
leaking
problem or a
energy.
chaos. And I know that I didn't express from my heart. I expressed from
Exactly.
the wrong place. And that's
Exactly.
what I want to teach because when we're truly understanding this and we know what it really means to express and communicate, this makes us very powerful women in business, in work, in our relationships, with our children, all of it. Like, I wish like a lot of people are going out there and getting health and fitness, and then they're going out to get marital advice and then business advice. And I'm like, oh my God, can we just condense this? Let me help you at the core root of all of the problems. It's
Yeah.
just a misalignment with the energy of life that is connected to our heart. If you guys can all
Mm.
picture that, there's a power, there's a greater force, and everyone has a different word. I call it life because I want to I'm all about unity. And so, but that force is connected to our heart and soul. But you came on the planet as a human being and you went through challenges. So you had to build survival mechanisms to survive this planet because you're like, this planet is messed up. Like, oh my God, what is wrong with the people on this planet? But then what ended up happening is that you kept all those mechanisms. And those mechanisms is not your heart and soul. And so you're in business working in your career or with your family or friends and you're not trusting, you're still operating from those mechanisms. And yes, life is like, it's not going to work because I need to show you you're not talking from the heart, you're talking from the survival patterns. You're not creating your business from your heart, you're creating from your survival pattern so you can make money. Like you got to see the difference. And when you do understand the difference, then your heart and soul is aligned with life, with the power. Oh my God. Then things open up for you. And then you're like, and then I promise you, like even tomorrow when I talk and more will open up, you'll be like, oh, no wonder that fell apart. Oh, no wonder that worked. You know what I mean? And when we really understand that, that's when it's like, wow, it's criminal to live life where actually things go well because we lived life going against things for so long, right? It hasn't been easy because we grew up in an environment that was going against life. My parents weren't going with life. I'll tell you that much. My ancestors were not going with life. They were going against life and they still are, just so you know. But I was the one selected, and a lot of you you guys are here because you're like, yeah, I'm the one that's going to wake up in this lifetime because I'm not living like that. Elise is like, me. Susan's like, many years ago, an ex-boyfriend had the license plate untamed, and I remember thinking to myself, oh, I can tame him. Susan, I would have thought the same thing. And we could. That's the thing, we could. But here's the thing. Be careful what you wish for. Because then you have to take care of the little baby lion, the little baby tiger. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's caged now. So it's lost all of its power. And then we're not drawn to it anymore. Right? Now we got a little boy on our hands. Does that help at all, Mariana? Is there something else that's coming through?
I'm really sorry. I was doing also something else,
Oh,
not
that's okay.
just listening to you.
That's okay.
If there, you will send replays or no?
Yeah, no, there's a replay for sure.
Oh, that's very
And
good.
I
Okay.
know like the first part was a little boring because I had to share that but I still need to share that because how do I rise the conversation if we're not aware of how we're going against life,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And so it's going to get much more interesting. But I'm always like, oh, the first part is like a little boring and stuff, but it's necessary. We got to see these things within ourselves.
And when you said, oh, that's why people don't understand, not don't understand, don't get it, yeah? Because I'm not talking from my heart, but from my protection.
From your protection.
This also was very good, yeah. It was like, yeah.
Oh yeah. And once we can see that, I tell you, like I used to say, it just like, have you guys ever seen someone go on stage and speak from notes and speak
Mm-hmm.
from their minds? They memorized it and they just share from their notes. And it's perfect, whatever they want to call perfect. But it's not really perfect because everybody's yawning. Kind of what I did at the beginning here, sharing the note stuff. It's the boring stuff. But then you have someone that goes on stage and just expresses and shares their heart. It's not boring at all. And people are moved by that energy. And it's not perfect, but they're so moved by it. So that's the perfection. And do you know what I mean? And
Yes.
they're truly leaders because they're leading an entire crowd to inspire them to start moving in that direction towards their own hearts. That's extremely powerful. And that's why people could feel it, whether they understand it or don't understand it.
Mm.
Then you see people that they're very in their heads and sharing, and which I understand. We still share like notes, and because people are very visual and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, it's always absolutely when a person speaks from their heart, and shares that really moves people for sure. And there's a reason why. And so that's why if you can remember that vulnerability when you're speaking from the heart and understand and what that really feels like, you'll know when you've hit it because of the reaction you get back from
Mm,
people.
mm,
Like life is our mirror. If I'm looking in the mirror and I'm frowning, well, the mirror is going to show me a frown, right? If I smile in the mirror is going to show me a smile. That's life. The mirror, life, same thing.
mm,
Most of us don't like our mirror. So the mirror is, no, you didn't express from your heart. You expressed from your survival pattern. So that's the reflection you're getting back from people. And we're like, how dare you talk to me like that? How dare you? Right? And I'm like, it's really, you don't like your reflection. That's all it is. But we got to see this, right? Because it's craziness. But that's what we've been taught. So we don't know. We don't see the difference. We weren't taught the truth that life is that simple, right? And I'll get like people, they're like, Natalie, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I know something's coming for me and I'm waiting. And I'm like, again, life is your mirror. So really life is waiting with you. So what are you waiting for? I don't know what you're waiting for. Life is your mirror. We are truly that powerful, but we're using our strength and power in the wrong way. We truly are. We have to see that. The pushing and the forcing and to control and to make it happen. And then it's like, it didn't happen my way. Well, I'm gonna make you happen my way. Like the energy we're spending in it. And we're going
mm,
against nature. And nature's like, I have no choice but to
mm,
destruct this for you because it can't work that way. That's not how it works, hun. And so then it falls apart, and we're like, why is this happening for me? You know what I mean? And all this stuff. And often, a lot of you have all experienced that where you're like, I don't want it to go this way. And then you surrendered. And once you surrendered and things open up, you're like, oh, yeah, this is better. Oh, yeah, this relationship is better. This thing is better. You know what I mean? But then we wasted like decades trying to hold on to things that we didn't, life already knew we didn't want. We just were so afraid of letting go because we didn't know what would replace it, and we're afraid of what will replace it. And I'm here to share with you what will replace it is always a match to your heart, and it's your heart. So of course you want it. But there's no such thing as you getting what you want as far as your heart and be like, yeah, I didn't want this. No, God, no. But all of you have all went after what your mind wanted, and you've achieved that. And then you're like, meh, I'm not really fulfilled. I feel empty. Let's go after something else then. That's the answer. I'll be fulfilled once I have a 13th designation. Like, no, you will not at all. So I love that you brought that up, Mariana. That's awesome.
thank you.
You're welcome. Mitua. Okay, I did it and then I'm not doing it right.
No, you
Mitua.
did it. You did it
Mitua.
totally right. Just ignore the H.
Mitua. Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of my name, it means little sweetie. And I was told when I was growing up, I was the black sheep. I was told, oh, I think we called the wrong one Matua, which I always thought was a really nice thing to say. However,
Yeah. Not
I
nice.
did not I did not find this boring at all. I found it actually really informative, and
Good.
I think I'm a survival junkie. Um, I as much as I was listening to another recording of yours recently, and
Mhm.
you were saying, you know, you put a smile on your face, but the universe actually knows that you're not really smiling inside. And
Yeah.
that sort of
Yeah.
that's me in a nutshell. And I guess that's where my comment or question, I don't even, I'm trying to organize my thoughts. I guess that's where it lies, is when it comes to letting go. I mean, I sit, I think, I try to let things go.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't actually let any of that shit go. It's always ever present and it's always there. Um, there's when we were kids, my grandma, I don't know, I think she was a witch or something. She was really bizarre. She would put curses on people and stuff would actually come to fruition. And then she got very angry when she was old and she cursed our family. And my mom has been living under this cursed cloud for I can't even tell you how long. And inside me, I know it's wrong. And I sort it's very abrasive for me. I'm not we go for spits and spats of not talking. We didn't talk for 8 years. We
Hmm.
started talking again. I don't buy into her ideology, but I don't see things change. And I
Hmm.
guess I honestly do not know how to properly let things go. I say I let things go, but I don't think I actually do. And then once in a while, I'll have this really persistent voice in my gut that tells me to do something and I'll do it and it'll work out.
Hmm.
But it's silenced most of the time now, and I feel
Hmm.
very disconnected.
Yeah, the first thing I want to share is that women have a lot of power to play spells. When I was young, I couldn't wait to get away from my mom's web
Mhm.
because she only saw me as a problem, as trouble, as wrong, as bad, as that was the web that I was in. And it was
I
very
can relate.
toxic. And
Yeah.
whether people understand it or not, they feel it and they want to get out of it. And so what we want to understand, number one, no one, you've been given sovereignty. No one can place a curse or a spell or black magic or anything that people want to say. They can't place it on you unless you accept it. You take it in, you receive it.
Hmm.
If you receive it and you take it in and you believe it, it's true, then it must happen, but it won't be because they placed the curse, it's because you received it. You said yes to it. You took it in. But that's how powerful you are. So there's a lot of people out there that are very good at manipulating others to believing that they can heal you or they can hurt you or they can, it's all these manipulations. And we either say yes to it and receive it or we say no to it and we don't. But ultimately, we're the power. We either receive it or we don't. They can't force anything upon you. That's the biggest lie of this global system that exists out there. But they can make you believe that they can, and then you receive it, and then it does work because you received it, because you decided it was so. But it won't be because of their spell. It will be because you decided to make it true for you. So that's why I want to like, first off, you want to cut the cords to that, just change your belief around that. And if I were you, I would write that all out on a piece of paper. Everything that you have believed that you were forced to believe is true, that your grandmother could even curse, that she could. No, she was just good at manipulating. Like even Jesus said, it is your belief in me that healed you. He never healed people. People believed that he could. So he did. Now, manipulating people for them, a little different than manipulating people to hurt them. You see what I mean? There's nothing wrong with the word manipulation, but most people are using it so they can benefit something from it. And what your grandmother gave out, she must receive 10x. So anybody that is, we have to be careful what we put out. The energy we put out, we're going to get it right back. because that is like spaceships are sent to the moon based on this quantum physics. So I'm just simplifying it right now. And so that's why your grandmother lived a very miserable life, because what she gave out, she had to live. She had to live. She had to breathe, feel, live with. So that's going to create a very miserable life.
Well, she certainly wasn't the cookie baking grandma, that's for sure.
Obviously not. She's a very wounded feminine.
Yeah, yeah. And my
Yeah,
mom inherited quite a bit of that,
of course.
and believed it and still believes it to this day. And it runs a lot of her life. Um,
But I would
my
write that
sister,
out and burn it.
okay.
Burn
Yeah.
it, make it symbolic, and then remind yourself for at least 3 weeks of your new belief. Reprogram yourself with this new belief. But first make it symbolic, burn it, get that. That's not yours. You inherited that. That's not yours. And none of it was true. It was to control because again, we have taught like, and there's all kinds of different levels of control, but all our mothers have taught us how to control in some level because, and it's not to blame the mothers and to blame the women. For thousands of years, women had to survive. Do you know
Mhm.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
so they did whatever they needed to do to survive whatever they have. And everybody on this planet is always doing the best they can with what they know. And so it's just completely having compassion and recognizing, like, I don't know what it felt like to live in your grandmother's shoes or your mother's shoes. You know what I mean? But I
Mhm.
also know enough to know about history and studying ancient wisdom, how much was stripped from women and how much we were controlled and how much women had to marry to to just be able to survive.
Mhm.
So that, of course, will create a lot of control mechanisms that we inherited from our ancestors that is going against life right now and hurting us. And so once we let go of all of that and we start moving with life, the freedom you feel, the liberation, all of that stuff, but you also feel compassion for your ancestors because they didn't have the opportunity you have. Like any woman on this planet can live any life they want. Well, in this on this planet, sorry, in our area, not in this planet. I'm talking about especially like certain areas. Some other areas is a little more challenging for sure.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. But I definitely do that if I were you.
I'll do
Get
it.
that out.
Yeah, I'll definitely do it. It's,
Yeah.
I think it's the conflicting messages that you get to when you're small and things that you believe fundamentally about yourself because of what you're told about yourself.
Mhm.
I'll give you a for instance. I don't want to hog all the time here. But when I was, we, my formative years, up until I was 10, we lived in England. And we
Mhm.
were in London and it's super busy, hustle bustle. My mom's very paranoid about safety, this, that, and the other. So she said, make sure you grab one of our hands as you cross the street. So there's me and my two sisters. Well, my sisters kept running to my mom and grabbed her hands. So she's only got two hands. So
Mhm.
then I made a choice because my dad looked kind of sad. I thought that in my own mind. I don't know if that was actually what was going on, but it was my
Yeah.
perception. And I thought, he doesn't feel like anybody wants to hold his hand. So I gunned it for my dad at every intersection. Um, and they are also an interracial couple, and they faced a lot of stuff to do with that. There
Yeah,
was a lot of undercurrents going on in
for
England at
sure.
that time. So I would grab my dad's hand, and then we'd happily walk across the street. And then that night, when I went to bed, my mom said, "Don't think I didn't know what you were doing, Matua. I know that you can manipulate men because you're pretty." And I saw what you were doing with your dad, running for his hand and giving him all the attention today. So
Mhm.
don't think that I don't know what you're doing. And she left my room and I thought, I have no idea what I was doing. I was trying to make my dad feel as special
Yeah.
as I thought she was feeling. That was it. But it sat with me.
Well, of course it did because it was your mother's projection. It wasn't you. Remember, life is a mirror. You were her mirror. She couldn't stand it, seeing herself. And then she expresses her mirror to you, and you're like, well, that's not me. But you don't know how life works, right? That all she sees in you is what's in her. That's how she's living life. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And so my mom did a lot of the same thing. Oh, you're just manipulating your dad. That's why he puts you on a pedestal.
Hmm.
And he literally was always not wanting to be home with my mom. And it made her extremely angry towards me. And so there's a lot of like, and a lot of women are not opening up and talking about these things. There's a lot of dysfunction between women, but it's okay. We're not talking about it to put down women. That's the difference. This comes from a place of understanding that for thousands of years, it's been fucking a mess. And there's energy to clean up now. And when we clean up the energy, oh, wow. And if do it for your children, if not for yourself, because there's so many people. Like I had no idea how much energy I had to clean up for my daughters. I had no idea. Couldn't see it. And they would have had to grow up just like I did with all my distortions. Jeez. Do you know what I mean? And then they're going to assume life is hard for them too. Life is not hard. Life was never like if you guys can just hear me now. Life was never supposed to be hard. Life is so simple. The truth is so simple. We live in a system that wanted to control and manipulate. And then our mothers had to learn how to control and manipulate to fit the system to survive. And then there's all kinds of layers of mess in that. And we inherited all of it. But we get to clean all that shit up so that we live relationships that feel liberating and free and loving, so that we can work and attract money with ease, so that we can like not go to places and to these soul-sucking jobs or soul-sucking relationships just because we have to, because we tolerate. We're so good at tolerating. We're done. We're done living like that. I don't know about you. I don't want to live the fate of Ophelia, the song of Taylor Swift. I'm like, it's so powerful. I do not want to drown in the shit that my ancestors had to go through and then have that projected onto me and then live my life thinking that's who I am when it's not who I am and then drown in it. It's not how I'm going to live. That song is way more powerful than people realize. That's what the rise of the feminine is. This is what feminism was always supposed to be. Not going after men and ignoring our own shit. That's what we're doing. That's what most of the feminists out there are doing. Let's blame the men for our dysfunction. Yes, it's been a fucking mess, men and women. But blaming men and women is not what's going to clean up the mess. And tomorrow I teach you that life is bumping up against already the patterns that need to be let go to clean up your energy. There's a huge evolution right now happening. And life is like bumping up against us to clean up our energy. It's actually brilliant. It's unconditional love. It's the energy of your true mother that is really supporting you, that's really guiding you. But we work against it. We assume, like I was at the getting my hair done, and a woman's like, I could hear her. She's like, Mother Nature's a bitch. I'm like, oh my God, we gotta heal this shit. Like, what is
Yeah, that's funny.
Stuff like this, we gotta heal. Like, and heal, when I say heal, I don't mean traditional healing. That stuff, we gotta let that go. That's like, that's implying there's something wrong with you. I'm talking about life is already bumping up against the things right now in your life for you to let go of. Healing means let go. Healing means letting go of what life is asking you to let go. If you're letting go of shit because a coach told you that you need to let go of this because you have money wounds and this is why you have money wounds, so heal this, that's bullshit stuff. It's in the Bible. Do not follow humans. Don't worship humans. There's a greater force that's already showing you what to let go, how to clean your energy. I'm just here to show you to like realign with it. And once you do that and let go of that your energy cleans extremely fast. And when it does, you're moving with life. And trust me, new vistas, opportunities, that's what I call natural success. You can force success all you want. I've done it. That shit, you never will feel fulfilled and you're carrying more shit. I see women and they're like, okay, I got success, but now they're carrying everyone and everything with it. They're fucking exhausted. Now they want to burn it down. And it's like, no, you could actually be that successful without fucking carrying everyone and everything. But it will require you to work with life, not against it. You're welcome, Mariana.
Okay, so when you're working with it, like there's this thing in my mind though, where it's like, okay, so if you're working with it and you're just letting things go, is that you being apathetic? Because the only way for you to sort of make anything happen is to just keep making things happen,
Yeah.
right? I don't, do
No,
you know what I
but
mean?
I guess that's your strength. Because you have never experienced the other. So you can't even see, you can't even comprehend that when you actually let go and surrender, that actually the opportunity and magic does show up. And then you start moving into action towards it.
But if you let go, you just sort of then you just that's where I think I have an issue, right?
Yeah.
You let go, and then do you then become this loser that just expects things to happen just organically, and you just sitting there waiting for shit to happen? I
No,
don't know
you
the
don't
difference.
want to
I don't
be,
know.
that's not waiting, right? I'm not a waiter like a lot of my,
Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know how to. I sort of see waiting or doing. I don't see a.
exactly, because that's all we've been taught. And waiting, you're a fool.
Yeah. So I keep doing.
Yeah. And then where are you going when you're doing?
I'm actually going in fucking circles. It's a big shit show.
Yeah,
But
exactly. The difference is when you surrender, you're connected to the pull within your soul. And then that pull is telling you now turn left. But most people, or right, or whatever, most people are not listening to it. They can't even hear it. If you can picture like the ocean or the water, most people like their minds is like water that's super freaking loud. So they can't hear the true wisdom, the true direction. And so they're just like using their mind, and your mind is looking for is trying to solve problems that your very mind created, by the way. So that's why you feel like you're going into circles. But it's because we don't want to wait till the rough waters become still. And so yes, there is like waiting doesn't like I'm all about active waiting, and I could share more tomorrow, but you're still active, but I'm still following what my heart and soul wants. Not what my mind says, no, you have to do that. If you don't do that, it's all fear based. You're following fear. You're not following your soul. You're not following heart. You're not following the pull. And we just need to understand the difference between the two. Most people they don't understand. They don't see that because they've never been even connected to the other one. The first time I've ever been connected to the pull of my heart and soul was when I became a top athlete. And then I had a hard time recreating it because I didn't know what had happened. But I was following something very different. I was following that. And then it led me, and it was all curious. It had the energy of curiosity. It had the energy of excitement. It had the energy of fun. It had the energy of, ooh, this is like a child. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I don't know. Something's telling me to do this. I'm doing this. It just feels fun. It feels like cool. I feel curious. I want to know what's on the other side. And that's the first time I ever tasted it. And then I tasted it, and then I was trying to like figure out how I did that. And then I attracted Bob Proctor, and then I became his consultant, and I started teaching his stuff because I couldn't remember how to recreate that. And then I started recreating it again when I started manifesting all sorts of things because I'm like, okay, I didn't do it your way though, Bob, because I'm not a goal person. I can't stand goals. So, you know what I mean? So I'm like trying to like recreate. And now Harmonize with Life was birthed only last year, right? So, and then now I'm like sharing that energy on how to like, so life bumps up against things for you to let go. Once you let go, you open up to space. And the truth is, Matua, if you were to really, really like feel this, you're afraid of space. You're afraid of emptiness.
Mm.
You're afraid of void. You're afraid of that. And so going into action, because you do not want that. But the truth is, all creation, all light comes from dark. All of it comes from the void, comes from space. If I fill up this to the top, there's no space for anything new. So if we're not comfortable with space, then nothing new comes into our life. So yeah, life bumps up against you to friggin' let go, or it falls apart on its own because life's like, I'll make it fall apart. Like if you don't want to let go, I'm gonna make it like you're gonna have to let go because I'm gonna destruct it. That's why destruction happens in a lot of people's lives because life was telling them to let go, but they didn't let go and then it destructed. But so that they finally do let go, so that it opens up space for what's really theirs. But some people, they won't even let the space there. They're already filling it up with something else because they can't, got to control it. It's like we shared today. Oh my God, it's falling apart. I got to fix it. I got to fix it. No way, I'm going in that void. Nope, not going into emptiness. Nope, no, I got to fix it. I got to keep myself busy. We're missing it. Not seeing. And here's the thing, women, you guys are really connected. When you allow yourself to be in the space, in that stillness, that's still very active, by the way. But that's how we think. We think that we're either in action or we're doing nothing. Well, that's your experience. Highs and lows, highs and lows. What I'm speaking about is a center point. It's a point that most people have never experienced because they're constantly going from high, low, high, low, high, low. They've never experienced the center point. They've never experienced what it feels like to be solid and stable in their bodies and to actually love the void, love the emptiness, love the space. They don't even know that that is what they need to be focused on. And when you do, and you're comfortable with that space, then that's when you're connected to intelligence, you're connected to new ideas, you're connected to everything in there. Chantal says, super interesting. I burn a lot down quite easy. Is this also a strategy for survival? Yes, absolutely. I had a lot of that energy as well, where I just like, fuck it, start over. But then right after I burnt it down, I wasn't holding space for something. I was already trying to figure out, even before, while I was burning it down, I was already thinking of what I was going to create next. I didn't give myself any space or any time. I didn't allow myself to be in the space and to allow something to show. Your heart and soul is connected to the quantum field. It's going to show you something, but we have been taught not to trust it, to trust our minds. But the thing is, your mind, all it can do is go back into the past and recreate from the same stuff, same material, same memory, same. And that's why I kept burning it back down. Well, this is not really what I want. I mean, burn it down again and rebuild again because I'm a powerful builder. I build, 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 build. But you get tired of that. That was really good, Chantal. Thanks for sharing that. Does anybody else want to share? Elise, are you like thinking of something to share?
You got that right. I was just, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, about what you just shared with Chantal, I was really thinking about how, for me as well, I can be somewhat, I don't know, almost proud to be able to let go of something. But now you just shared like there's an invitation to be in the space where things kind of appear, or I don't know. This is why I was thinking and
Yeah.
not sharing.
No, no, it's great.
So I was just wrapping my mind around it, which didn't really help me, but I was doing that. Um, but I think I'm seeing glimpses of that in this period of time. So
It's like you're
yeah.
feeling this feeling finally, because most of your
Yes.
you led being led, forget that.
Hmm.
It's not safe. Well,
Yeah.
if you're gonna, but your heart and soul wants to lead you, but it hasn't been safe for you.
Hmm.
So now you're in the space and waiting for a little drop, and then you're moving into action towards the drop. And then that's what builds the momentum,
Hmm.
right? Because you were going on the highway 120 miles an hour, and then you like stop because you're like, this is not working. But you're not gonna like, and that's what happens. Now you get into stillness,
Hmm.
and then you hear those drops of wisdom and intelligence, and you're moving towards with that one drop. So this is what's really important because if you keep ignoring it, it can't get stronger. And in the universe, everything is interconnected.
Hmm.
So it's sending you the first drop. It's already sending you, okay, this is the first step. And so when you listen to it, you move into action, the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. And so that's what's happening. So and it's an experience to start getting comfortable in being
Hmm.
led, because warrior women, we lead,
Hmm.
not led, but true leaders are self-led. What does self-led mean? Like your soul leads you. That's what it means, right? Your heart and soul leads you. So you're self-led. So now you have power, and people will ask you, like, where do you get all your energy? It's called
Hmm.
devotion. Devotion means I'm connected to my soul. I'm following that power. And then it gets louder, and then it gets louder. And next thing you know, it carries you. Like I could be super tired. You guys know that. Like I could be super tired.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, clients show up, people show up, and I'm like, I don't know where the energy came from. It's like it carries me. It
Hmm.
absolutely does. It's the same for me. Unconditional love I only receive from animals. And animals are teaching you how to love yourself the same. And once you love yourself unconditionally, you will attract unconditional love from others. I promise you that. I only experience conditional love from others because I was conditionally in love with myself. Think about it. My soul's saying turn right or like, don't go that job, Natalie. It's sucking the life out of you. I have to. Well, that's conditional love for myself. Well, guess what? You're going to attract conditional love out there because out there is a mirror of who you are in here. It's always reflecting out there who I'm being in here with myself. And it needs to be that way because we need to see ourselves. We need mirrors. Yeah.
That's so good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chantal's like, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I promise you all the things that you desire that you think it's not possible, not in this world. Oh, it is. But it only can happen once we change our relationship with ourselves. Because the relationship with myself is always what's out there. Like I remember trying to fix my man and trying to make him different and do all the things. And I'd be like, why aren't you doing more? You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, that was the voices. That was my relationship with myself. It was very incongruent. It was very in disharmony. And then, of course, that's going to be the mirror. That's what I see. And then I get annoyed that I see it out there. Life's like, well, I have to show you, so that you can see you, so you can let go of being that way. And once you let go of being that way with yourself, the outside is always a reflection of your inside all the time. Like the world will love you the way you love yourself. The world will abandon you the way you abandon yourself. The world will see you the way you see yourself. Like I see people and they're like, they don't see my genius. I'm like, you don't see your genius. You think your genius is what your mind told you your genius is. That's not your genius. So they don't see you because you don't see you. And until you really see you, they can't see you. This is really, really important. Like things like, well, they're not paying me very well. Well, do you invest in yourself? Do you value? Where do you like we vote with our money? I vote, my money goes towards wisdom. That's why I have tons of it. Goes towards experiences. It goes towards expansion, growth, methodology. That's why there's tons of it. That's where I vote with my money. You see what I mean? And so if we're not voting, if we're voting with our money to have more stuff, to carry more things, to then yeah, you'll have that, but you're voting for that. So you'll have more of that in your life. So we're always voting with our money or energy. Money is energy. Your time is energy. Your focus is energy. So we're always voting that way. And so that's what's really, really important when we change the relationship with ourselves. Like you were all like good girls. Be a good girl and do this for mommy and daddy. And you compromise yourself. You learned at a very young age to abandon yourself and to be who they needed you to be. And now we're adults living that way. And life's like, sorry, I got to bump up against this because God, she's got to stop doing that. That's not who you are. You're not here to be who they are. Your fate is not the fate of Ophelia. It is not to drown in what they think of you or be what they want you to be. It is to be who you were meant to be. And so life has to bump up against all of that so that you return home to yourself and be the full expression that you're here to be, because all of you were not forged in fire just to be forged in fire. You were here for big, big reasons. Big, like, I swear, if you guys would have met me 10 years ago, it'd have been, that's not the same Natalie. I didn't have any wisdom. I had no intelligence. I followed whatever everybody told me to do. I was the perfect girl. Like they loved me in the corporate world. Everybody loved me. I was always exactly who they needed me to be. And I prided myself on that. Imagine that. They all love me. Great. Do you love you? Well, not really. Yeah. And guess who has to sit with that, live with that, sleep in that. Guess who's attracting all relationships that she continues has to be someone she's not. And then she has to carry all of it because it's not aligned to who she is, and none of it's supporting her because it's not her people. At some point, we're going to break it down. And then we're like, she broke down. She's messed up. No shit. She can't keep going that way. And then we go see psychologists and we're like, oh, something's wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with you. There's never anything. The fact that you thought something was wrong with you is something that's wrong. We just got to let go. Promise you that. If you let go, who you really are will show up. And when you witness yourself and who you really are, that's when it takes your breath away. That's when you get really emotional. That's when you're like, on some level, I always knew this was who I was, but I was always dreaming about her, not realizing that this was really who I was. And that's what your heart and soul desires more than anything. And when you actually give yourself that gift, then the money comes, then the love comes. A lot of people are like, Natalie, show me how to change my love life. Show me how to make more money. Show me how to change my business. And I'm like, oh my God, do we really want to do that? There's enough coaches out there doing that. How about I help you realign to who you really are and let that magic show you what is yours? And I promise you, you won't be like, oh, this is it. That's all. No, I promise you, you'll be like, holy fuck. Yeah. And that's why warrior women are extremely powerful women. I mean, if you could carry everything in all of that you've been carrying your whole life and carry everyone and do all the things that you've been doing, if you let go of all of that and use all your power for you, do you know what you're going to create? I promise you that. It will blow you away. Question is, are you ready for it? That's all. And tomorrow we'll talk about the Harmonize with Life. Yeah. So, does anybody else have anything else? My money is crap. My energy must really suck. No, it's just because you have no more energy left. You're drained. You're in an energy deficit, money deficit, energy deficit. If all of you saw money as energy, you know what I like? Here's a little trick. Because the word money had so many messed up because of growing up the way I did around money. To heal all of that would have been just a mess. Like I'd still be fucking healing all of that. Instead, I don't use the word money anymore. I use the word energy. I'll say, do I have energy for this? Think about that. Just think about that. Do I have energy to give to this that I'm about to give to? And if the answer is yes, then move in that direction. If the answer is no, don't. Don't use the word money. Money has just got you all like, I don't have the money and I can't get the money. And it's a mess and it's holding you in a trap. Just start using the word energy because I promise you, you'll be like, do I really want to give even $4 to this crappy magazine and give money to the media and vote for the media to keep promoting crappy fucking stuff to instill fear in the world? No, I'm not even giving $4 to that anymore. When you start really saying, do I want to spend energy towards things?
You got me laughing over here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit, that's funny.
What part is funny? I'm curious.
Just fun. Do I want to give $4 to this shitty fucking magazine?
Well, a lot of stuff out there, I see it and I'm like, oh my God, it's manipulation to
Totally.
instill fear, because when you are all in fear, you are not in your power, so it can control you. And that's the system we live in. It's the matrix we live in. And the biggest interference blocking you from your soul is that energy. And if you guys go look at my recent podcast, I talk more about that energy. If you guys are interested in it.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. This is fascinating. Thank you, Natalie.
You're
Seriously.
welcome.
I've got so much out of this.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so we're like approaching like 2 hours. I loved it. I love that. Can you guys see? Like, this is really where my jam is. You
Oh,
guys ask
yeah.
questions and I share, and this is my jam. But I also know, like, that's why I do slides and I share the information. And I'm like, okay, I'll share the information because your logical mind needs information. So I share the information. But you'll notice my energy shifts quite substantially because this is the heart and soul of me that's like, yeah, more. Any questions?
Yeah.
Any more? Any more? Because I'm an life interference decoder. I see the interference right away. That's the interference. This is the interference. And then when you guys let go of the interference that life is already showing you, I'm just assisting life. Then you let go, you make space, and then I help you integrate by holding the space and show you, oh, that's the pull. Oh, that's your soul. No, that's your mind. Your mind's coming in to interfere again. You know what I mean? And I just help you because yes, your mind's coming in like, no, we got to control this. We got to like fix this. We got to make this happen. And so I'm here to like keep helping you stay connected to your heart and soul and witness your magic, witness your genius, witness that. And once you do and you know how to move with life, you're freaking good for life. And you're teaching your kids, you're teaching other people how to do it because it's not very fucking complicated. It's actually very simple. And really, this should have been taught before mindset, manifestation, all of that other stuff. Truthfully, this should have been the basics out there. Not mindset, not manifestation, not all this stuff. What's the point if you're not connected to your power, to your soul? What are you doing out there? You're still in survival. You see what I mean? So it doesn't matter if I'm receiving all of this information from a soul aligned teacher when I don't even know how to align to my own soul and I'm taking their wisdom and information for what? That doesn't help me. And so that's why this process allows you to reconnect to your soul, your heart, move into alignment, see the interferences, see that life has got your back. I'm not a fan of having fate, having faith.
Me.
I'm not
No,
a fan.
I can't. No, I can't do that.
No,
I
but your
can't do
logical
that.
mind, when it understands that life bumps up, like when you understand the process logically, then you're like my clients will be like, oh, I'm in this phase, I'm being bumped up against. Oh, I'm in this phase, I'm in the let go phase. Like they actually know which phase they're in. So logically, they're already understanding. So they know something's about to open up. And then they're like, okay, now this is the phase where I'm like, sitting in the space and it's my mind is like fighting me, doesn't like it, you know what I mean? But when they logically understand this, you're set for life. And honestly, this is what all children should know, but a lot of the children out there are learning the bad habits. My kids learn my bad habits too, and then I'm learning and I'm sharing something different now, of course. It's never too late. But when you do, then you're sharing them how to flow with life. Life, like it's enough that to get bumped up against and to have to let go and to shift and all that. That's enough. To not see this, not understand it, to like work against it, that's like freaking hell. Like holy shit. And that's how our world works. And you can see the chaos out there because you know what's going on out there? Life is all pulling us right now. Life is pulling us to this new level, new dimension, new way of being. Huge evolution happening right now. And the world is like, oh, and they're holding and they're fighting against and they're going crazy and it's his fault. It's President Trump's fault. No, it's their fault. And it's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, to see what I see. And I'm like, oh, life, I don't know how to help this, but this is kind of like what to do. This is a bit of a mess. But and I just keep expressing and those this is more advanced. You have to be more awakened to really understand me. Not everybody's going to get this, but it shows a lot of you have done a lot of work if you're still here and understanding what I'm saying. It's true.
Well, your audio clip at the end of that Success That Feels Like Home,
Yeah,
honestly, I play that every day going into work, coming home, walking the dog.
so good.
Um, it's amazing. It's really amazing. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. So good. All right, so we will come back tomorrow, same time, and then I'll share with you the methodology. I kind of gave you a little bit of a taste of what that looks like. We'll just dive into it with information again. I'll do slides and information because I got to do that part. That's not my favorite part. And then I do that part, and then we open it up, and then we go. And I want to feel you all. Like, if you guys can share, you don't have to get on camera either, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. But just know that a part of you wants to stay hidden. If you stay hidden, that's the same part of you that doesn't want you to be connected to your soul in life is the part of you that wants you to stay hidden and to not share and to not express and not open up. And that's vulnerability, by the way. That's the vulnerability I'm talking about. When you actually do it, even if something doesn't feel like comfortable, but you do it and you're just transparent about it. That's really what's going to change everything in your life. Okay. So if you guys can open up in the way that you're comfortable, camera off, comments, whatever. But I promise you, this can literally be very life changing for you, but only if there's communication and expression and sharing and exchange. There's nothing in the universe that changes, that can change without an exchange of your energy, which is time, money, focus. Do you know what I mean? Expression, like an exchange. So that's why I ask questions, share, open up. That's an exchange. Okay. All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone. You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.